there. Indeed, indeed. Actually, just sort of as per usual, Anna's going to be rolling in a little bit, just with work and everything. But totally, we'll be expecting her in a little while. Just so y'all know. But it's actually not another one of those gosh darn riddle streams this time. What was that? I think
I said thank God. I was like, oh.
Oh, so you did
Okay.
say that. Okay. Well,
I did.
well, at least I know the truth and all. Yeah, but totally. In the meantime, my lovely guest host is indeed Porscha. So, Porscha, I know we've been chatting backstage, but if you'd like to maybe tell the folks how you've been doing today so far and stuff.
Hey everybody, I am Porscha. As most of you know, I write poetry and occasionally essays. I am excited to come here and hang out and chat and flail my tentacles as we do all things writing and chatting today.
Yay, yeah, that's awesome. And because of how it's we've got more time and stuff with how it's not a riddle stream, I'm planning 3 25-minute sprints, so that's going to be 75 minutes altogether. Hopefully we can even keep it to like 2 hours for the whole deal. So yeah, indeed. So did you kind of like say like what you wanted specifically to be working on for the stream?
I need to work on poetry stuff because I haven't had the best couple weeks health wise, so I haven't gotten a ton done. So I will probably start off working on some revision, and then hopefully I'll get at least a poem drafted. So these streams are always good luck for me with getting poems drafted. So hopefully, like, we'll get.
Yeah. And if I know you, even in just one of the 25-minute sprints, you'll have no problem handily getting a poem drafted. So you got this. Sounds good.
Yay.
Yeah, and I will be working on my poem as best I can for the stream myself. So yeah, the drafting's going pretty good right now, if I may say. I've gotten to an exciting part in the story, and I'm excited to write this part and really kind of like get the story going and opened up and everything. My main character's ready at this point to actually legit kind of like set out on the road and go on his adventure and start traveling and stuff. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
It's the part before he meets me in a diner, like at a road stop, like the character that is.
Well, it is a fantasy story, but maybe it could be like a tavern or something like that.
Yes, in my tentacle form.
I'll have to make sure to write that in. Yeah, let's say hi to the peeps and everything. Hi, Nina, how are you? Heather, hi, how are you? And Porscha, hi, how are you? Or something. Porscha, this is for you with love from Heather. And Jabria, hi, what's up? Nina, I have to start with putting dishes in the dishwasher. Total productivity there. You got this. Then I will waste some more time making pretty digital journal spreads. Oh.
Yay!
You got this, Nina. And look at this here. Well, Uh, just a sec. Jabria, this is for you with love from Porscha. Um, yeah, but we could go ahead and get into our first sprint at that. If you get a bit.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Isn't it nice without all those gosh darned riddles and stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure it's. I love the riddles, but it's just a different headspace. It's just a
It
different,
is, yeah. And I do sincerely apologize for that. But yeah. Good luck, all. Yay, that's the end of our first sprint. How did y'all do?
Okay, I thought I missed the end. I was like, that feels like 25 minutes. I was like, did I miss it? Okay. So I have about half of a poem that feels kind of sad, so I'll have to turn that around in the second half.
Oh, okay. You got this. Um, I did pretty good for that one. I did get a few lines down, and yeah, and then I sort of took the last few minutes off. um, but yeah, cool, cool. Let me just see here. In the sprint, Kira popped in. Hi, Kira. How are you? Indeed, indeed. Also, Cool Gamer popped in. Hi, Cool Gamer. How are you? Let me see here. And this is your comment here. I'm listening to my favorite Gil Scott Heron spoken word album on Spotify if anyone needs some inspiration. Ooh la la. And of course, the linky link here.
Mhm.
Nice. Did you want to maybe say anything about that, or?
Yeah, it's Gil Scott Heron, famous poet and activist. He has this spoken word album called "I'm New Here," and it's the 10th anniversary expanded edition, and I just find it beautiful. It's spoken word
Oh,
poetry, but there's music in the background. So for people that aren't like poetry people, it's very listenable. Um,
right.
and I find it approachable and just something to kind of get the get the mind going and try to get me
Ah,
back into the flow of poeming because I have not poemed in a couple of weeks. So
two poem, huh?
yes,
Cool though. And you said that was "I'm New Here," right?
I'm New Here is the name of the album, and
Yeah.
it might be, let's see, the only one of his on Spotify. Actually, no, there's some other stuff of his. But this
Oh yeah.
is from the 2000s. I think this might be 2010. This album was, so it's a newer because more of his popular stuff was like in the 70s, early 80s. So it's something a little more contemporary from Gil
Oh,
Scott
okay.
Heron.
So he's been around, huh?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. So if you want something that's a little newer, a little less spicy, he was known for some of his more controversial, political stuff in the 70s and 80s. But if you want something a little more slice of life, uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Um, I've learned something this stream, though. I'll totally have to keep his name there in mind.
Mhm.
Let me see. Kira, this is for you with Love and Porscha. Yeah, so let's see here. Just a sec here. Yeah, I'm on stanza number 84 of the poem right now.
Yay.
So I basically got into that stanza in this sprinty sprint. Um, and yeah, it's going well. Like I said, my main character setting out right now. Um, just like in terms of like right now, what I'm writing right now for this stanza and maybe like half of the next or something. I'm kind of just doing a little bit of a joke, actually. I think actually it's kind of turning out to be quite a serious poem. But anyway, I've got this little joke going on right now where it's kind of like he's leaving the house. But you know how when you leave the house, it's like you start being nervous about, oh, the stove and, oh, the front door being locked and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I've kind of got this lighthearted moment going where he's kind of like it's gonna be a couple of times, and he's gonna like suddenly think, oh, this and that in the stove, and he's gonna kind of go back a couple of times before he actually hits the road. But I just thought I'd kind of have some fun with that, and make it a little bit sort of relatable to like everyday life. Like nobody actually, as far as I know, no one actually just sets out and doesn't worry about nothing. And it's always like there's always something that you think about, like if you're on going for vacation for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, definitely. Every time I'm leaving for vacation, especially with Edward, I have this funny thing I do because he'll go back and check like 3 or 4 times. So by the third time, I'm like, the oven's off, the door's locked, it's fine, let's go. Because he's like,
Yeah,
yeah. So people there,
yeah.
it's a while, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. So
Um,
I'm that friend that's like, everything's locked, the oven's off, like, let's just go. Although then it gives me the anxiety of I don't want to be the voice of reason telling people everything's fine and then it's not fine and their house burns to the ground. So then I have the anxiety of am I sure that they're sure that I'm sure? Because like because then it's like there's Hallmark doesn't make a card for I'm sorry your house burned down. Like I'm really sorry. Like I thought you unplugged the George Foreman grill and you didn't, and that's my fault. Uh,
and I don't know, like, gosh, I'm sure the George Foreman grill is at least to an extent like an international kind of hit, but I'm convinced that like on this side of the pond, like in North America, it's like a lot more of a thing. Like in Canada and the US, the George Foreman grill is like a household um, kind of thing or appliance, however you want to call it. Like in the 90s, almost everyone had a George Foreman grill.
yeah.
And yeah, I think we in my household we might even have two of them. We might have like a normal, the one from back in the day, and then like I think we might have a newer one that's like smaller and more for like the smaller cookups. But yeah,
Yeah, because it is the progression of life according to the George Foreman grill. So one of two things happens. If you come from a large family, your first George Foreman is the huge one that feeds like eight. And then the kids grow up and leave the nest, and then you get a smaller George Foreman. It is like the cycle of
right,
life
right,
by the
right.
George Foreman grill. Or other people, you start out, you move into a house, it's just you're single, you have a very small, the baby George Foreman, and then you get married, you have kids, and then you like progress to the bigger one. It's like you can tell like how your life has gone by like the George Foreman grills.
Absolutely,
Uh,
yeah. And if you think about it, a coffin is a little bit shaped like a George Foreman grill. So, anyway, so
oh my
when
God.
you go completely horizontal and you get buried 6 feet under, hey, that's another George Foreman grill right there.
It's your last George Foreman grill. Uh,
Yeah,
that's so funny. That's only
just
funny
as long as
because
it's like a white hued wood, that the coffin's finished in, you're off to the races, totally,
so
all the way
I
to
don't
the
know if
end there.
yeah, did I tell you that I want to be burned? Like I don't know what you call it, that where you put people on the wooden boat and you send them out on the water and you kind of burn the boat and it does like it's like a
Okay,
traditional like funeral thing. Like I think it's called a funeral pyre. I think I
okay,
want
like
that.
yeah. Oh, really?
Th-
Huh?
Yes, I would like that when I go. But my mom keeps telling me, she's like, but that's illegal in the United States. And I'm like, well, what are the cops going to do? Come out and get me? Like, I'm already out there. Like, what do you? And she's like, well, the people that sent you out there will get arrested. And I was like, well, I mean, that's kind of not my problem. But I just kind of don't want, like, I just want something
Yeah.
different. Or now that you mentioned it, just put me in a life size George Foreman grill, like the rotisserie chicken that I lived my life as, and call it done. Uh,
Well, I know, like you can do the at least by sort of like North American standards, you could do like the more traditional burial at sea, where basically you're cremated and then your ashes are just scattered at sea. But I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not dramatic enough for me. You know, I'm a really dramatic person, so I want like a whole thing where people are standing on the shore and they're like waving and maybe crying a little, and they just kind of, float me out there and then set the boat on fire. Like it's a whole production. Like,
So you want them to be bringing out the popcorn and everything, right?
yeah, I want a production. Um, it must have
Yeah,
production value,
I
but
hear you. Going
I
out
mean,
with a
or not.
bang, right?
Go, yeah, going out with a bang and a fizzle. So I mean, who knows?
And hi, Nina. How are you?
Hi, Nina.
Um,
Let me see.
and Jabria, dishes equal done. Ooh.
Yay.
Yeah. So I think we can just about get into our second sprint at this point.
Yep.
Time flies when you're having fun and all that. Um, but yeah, why don't we do that then?
Okay.
Just
Sounds good.
a sec. Yeah. Okie dokie. Good luck, all.
All right.
And yay, that's the end of our second sprint. How did you all do? Dot, dot, dot. Yeah.
She runs back from the little girl's room. Hey, everybody.
Oh,
Hope you did well. Um, I finished the poem. So I finished the poem that I was writing in the first sprint.
oh. And did you feel like sharing it? Maybe like
Sure.
once I just kind of chimed in on my sprint and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
So I yeah, I did good again. So I've had like two sprints now, doing pretty good for drafting with the poem and putting down some actual words and even lines, and yeah. And just actually, let me see here. Kelly popped in, it looks like. Hi, Kelly.
Thanks for lurking.
uh, Rose, I'm here to support Porscha. Hi, Rose.
Oh, hi, Rose. Thank you. Means the world to me.
Um, Imagine, Porscha, if you were like up here all on your lonesome trying to solve three big riddles or something, no hints and all that.
Oh no.
Like a 2 hour 45 minute stream, something like that.
Oh no. I would
that
cry probably.
that would test our friendship. That's for sure.
No, nothing can test our friendship. It's fine.
Oh, let me see here. Jabria, 422 words and a recipe for orange marmalade, because I just came into a large quantity of oranges. Score. That's awesome. That's good news all around there, Jabria.
Awesome. We sold citrus when I was in high school for the senior class trip that never happened. Like we hadn't had a senior class trip at our school since the 70s. I don't know why we sold citrus every year if the trip never happened. I'm now wondering where did the money go? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I want my money back from the grapefruits I sold like 20 years ago. But okay, enough of
Yeah, kind of like when you're kids, you don't think about these things, and then you remember later, years later, and yeah, I've done that myself before.
yeah.
But we are caught up, it looks like, in the chat. So if you'd like to recite what you've just drafted, the floor would be all yours.
Okay, sure. I don't mind. Um, the weeds are overflowing the edge of the lawn. Dandelions have upset the status quo of suburban ideals. Grass is inching up out of the cracks of the driveway. I don't know when the greenery decided to burst forth from where it died last year because I was at the beach. I spend my winters facing out against the Atlantic, walking the sand, retiring from the tricks the season plays on the South. I am on a bench watching the tide. Sometimes I'm chest deep in frigid water. Twice. Once as the wave rolls in, and once as it goes away from me. The boardwalk is empty. The sun goes down early. The light is a lover you will never see again until you do, unexpectedly, unplanned, like the flowers growing in the cracks of the driveway.
Ooh, ooh, right in the feels. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
yeah. Thank you for that. That was amazing.
Thank you. I didn't know how I felt about it. Like, it's so funny because I have, people have told me I have very I have a very low concept of my own poems sometimes, and then I'll read them to somebody else. I'll be like, I'm working this poem, and I don't know if it's even a keeper. And then I'll read it to somebody else, and they're just like, "Ooh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't
That
know."
one's a keeper for sure.
Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
and you read it so nicely too. I might need a drink of water. Well done, Portia. Portia, this is for you. Love
Oh,
from
thank
Jabria.
you.
Let me see here. I don't have my phone to snap a pic, but Sky just hopped up on the couch to watch in awe. how
Aw.
how appropriate. Uh, and actually, it looks like we have an Anna.
Yay! Hi,
Hi,
Anna.
hi, Anna. Can you see us?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm so
Hi.
sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries at all. Work and everything, totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to finish up the workday, so thanks for waiting for me.
No worries. Yeah, actually, you could, if you wanted, you could catch it in the replay. But Portia just recited for us a poem that she wrote
Oh my
in basically the first two sprints we did just now in the stream.
God.
It was very, very lovely.
I will definitely rewind. I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah, but yeah, Anna, we have one more sprint to go. We've been so we're doing like 3 25-minute sprints for the stream.
All right.
And yeah, do you kind of know maybe what you might want to do for this last sprint? You could make good
Yeah,
use of it.
so I'm rereading my draft. I finished it a couple weeks ago and got it printed. So I'm going through and marking everything up and highlighting and making notes and scribbling and all that. I'm trying to finish it by
Oh,
the end of the week, so I have to do 3 chapters a day, basically. So that's my task.
okay. Okay, so you're giving yourself till the end of the weekend to do that?
To Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You got this.
Thanks. What are you guys working on?
Definitely got this.
Well, actually, I've been drafting in my poem, which I know you know about. I've been actually quite surprisingly, finding some good words. So I put down some good lines so far.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Portia's been writing poetry also, and kind of doing a couple other things too.
Yeah. So I'm supposed
But
to
yeah.
be Q2 of this year is supposed to be mostly me revising my full-length manuscript, my poetry manuscript. But April being poetry month, it's also I wanted to get some poems written too. So I drafted something in the first 2 sprints, so maybe I'll work on revision because revision is important. Revision is our friend. It's just not always as exciting as actually
It's not
writing.
as fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old revision.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's cool that you're doing escape roll.
Yeah. So I tried to do a double challenge because the 30 poems in 30 days is every April. And then the Watering Hole Poetry Fellowship that I did 2 years ago, they're doing a revising 30 poems in 30 days. So the plan
Oh,
at the beginning of April was to do a double poetry challenge.
one of each.
Oh,
I did not successfully end up doing all of those things, but I have 6 drafts written and I have quite a bit of revision done. So
Hey,
April
that's awesome.
hasn't been a bust. Yeah.
well,
Good progress.
that's the beautiful thing about writing. You write it down and it's there, So like a poem
Mhm.
drafted is a poem drafted, and a poem revised is a poem revised.
That's true.
Yeah, so cool. Uh, Yeah. So what time is it? Let me just do a quick calculation. We could actually just about get into our third and final sprint at this point. And I think we will actually be able to keep this to a 2 hour stream. I'm not sure if Anne would be proud of me or disappointed, but
Gonna come up with any riddles today?
yeah, it's not a riddle stream and everything. I have sincerely apologized maybe once or twice, just as it happens. But
My brain
you know,
thanks you.
yeah. But next Friday will probably be a riddle stream. I actually think it's for me it works out pretty good, like sort of like alternating the two, like kind of like normal stream and then riddle stream, normal stream, riddle stream, like that. And yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, why don't we go ahead and get into our thingy thing then at this point? Indeedy. Yeah, good luck all. Yay. That's it. That's the end of our third and final sprint. How'd you all do?
That was quick. It felt faster than the previous 225 minutes. So
Oh,
I was get a chance to read through some of the pieces that I'm currently revising, but I hadn't made much progress on going through and kind of marking up quite yet.
got it. Got it. Do you think after the stream you'll continue a bit, or will you call it a Friday afternoon at that?
I think I'll continue on a little bit. So I think I got maybe an hour or so in me till I take a little break. So I'll probably crack on a bit and get some revision in.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, while you're rolling, might as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And how'd you make out there, Anna?
It was good. I almost finished the chapter I was reading, so I made a lot of really good connections and was flipping back and forth to foreshadow some things and then reflect some things in the end. So I was going all over the place, but it was good.
Oh, good. Yay. Yes. Yeah, I did okay again. I've had 3 good sprints for the stream. I guess it's also like I can't jinx myself or anything anyway at this point because they're all done now. All 3 sprints are in now. But, I'm happy with what I got done in the poem. So, yeah. Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
And what you put in the chat was wonderful. Oh, sorry. Please continue, Anna.
No, go ahead, Porscha.
No, I was just going to say, Michael, what you put in the chat was really, really beautiful. I really like it.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, totally. I put this poem in the chat. So, on Wednesday, Anna had a stream in the evening Eastern time. And so there's a bit of a backstory here. I was feeling like writing a poem and stuff, and I basically put in the chat while she was on screen. I said hey, like I feel like writing a poem or whatever. Could you maybe give me a prompt word, and then maybe I could be off to the races. And so what Anna did was she thought about her whip and everything and what she was reading and all, and kind of like where her headspace was, and she came up with the word pearl.
Oh, he just missed it out.
Yeah, so then I was like, oh, like I actually really liked the word from the get-go. And so, yeah, I just wrote a poem on the word, and the poem is called, or was called, and is called Pearl. So I just thought maybe I would, share it again, just in case someone hadn't heard it or something. And
it's so
yeah,
pretty.
so
It has to be shared. I can't believe you just wrote it like on the spot.
Oh, I was working on it for like a good chunk of the stream, but I also did want to make sure that I got it right and that I had every word of it right. But yeah, here it is, so I can read it to y'all. And it's called Pearl, based on the prompt word, totally. So, perhaps in the sand, forgotten for years, precious and silent to countless ears. Perhaps in the ocean adjacent a rock, lost in the darkness and to the flock. Perhaps in a ring and for a love, perhaps as a gift borne by a dove. Perhaps it could be my gift or yours. Have you been searching vast sandy shores? A singular person with utter and call. A sky full of stars can say nothing at all. But perhaps as a prayer to speak and unfurl, here is your own written down pearl. And that's it.
Beautiful. You know what I just realized? I'm wearing my pearl headband.
Oh, there you go.
Aw.
How perfect
Cool.
is that?
Yeah, totally. Oh,
Aw.
So stunning.
oh, thank you. And thank you for this, Portia. Woot woot.
Yeah, like I'm so jealous of how you do tone in your poems. It's so like I love it. So I think the people in the chat are asking when me and you are going to collab and maybe write a poem together or something. They're saying it in
Yeah.
their minds. I'm saying it out loud that like I want to work with you because you're like one of my favorite poets and like
Oh,
let's do it.
yeah, totally. We have to chit chat about that in the DMs and stuff. I think it would make a great stream, even, or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Let me see here. Kelly, just checking back in. I am here. Y'all, a great company while I'm working on these slides. Woot woot. Let me see here. Jabria, 511 words. Also, just realized that I need to eat at some point.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, totally, Jabria. That's an awesome word count, though, also for the sprint. And thank you, Jabria. And look at this here. Totally.
I'm also wondering.
We're all wondering, right? We're all working on it too. Yeah. Well, anything else maybe we'd like to chit chat about for a little bit? I mean, we've kind of put the work in, I like to think. At this point, maybe we can just have some fun chit chat or something.
Is anyone going to be doing the 30-hour write-a-thon this weekend?
Yeah, totally. So that's a great thing to bring up there, Anna. I can maybe sort of use it as a segue or something, but indeed, the 30-hour write-a-thon is this weekend. So yeah, it's hosted and created and everything and produced by author Anne Sophie and Celeste Joan. So yeah, just as advertised, it's 30 hours long. And yeah, it's going to be starting 8 a.m. Tomorrow Eastern. So yeah, totally be there or be square. Actually, I can quickly even if you could give me just a sec, okay, so in the chat I've shared the playlist. So what you can do is you can just right click on that link there to open the playlist in a tab, and then from there you can just save the playlist to like your save it to your YouTube library, just like that, and you're good to go for the write-a-thon, the playlist. Once you click on it and everything, will tomorrow we'll just take you stream to stream and everything. So totally.
Yeah, it's good timing for me since I have to read the rest of this.
Yeah. But yeah, 30-hour write-a-thon, be there, be square. I'm totally excited for it myself. I'm gonna actually try to stay up for it for as much as I can, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, indeed.
I think Anna's frozen. Oh, there you are.
Am I back?
You're back. You're good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So yeah, I will be around. I will try to stay up for a good chunk of it as well. I'm gonna try to not overdo the caffeine this time because Michael, with yours, I was like, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay up the whole 24 hours, and I had a lot of
That's
coffee,
right.
and it was just wee. So that's where the tentacles came from, and additional zaniness on Grayson's stream that devolved
Yeah.
into madness.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed, indeed. And I think also the 30-hour write-a-thon, I think the last block is like noon Eastern on Sunday.
That's right.
Going to like 2 in the afternoon Eastern on Sunday. So yeah, totally. It's a good chunk of time, and yeah, I'm super, super excited for it. And lots and lots of nice peeps hosting blocks and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping there will be a spreadsheet because
there totally will be. Yeah, it's already published. There's the link that you can already. I think it's in the playlist. There's like the link, or it's maybe not a link, but like you would have to just highlight the text and just put it in the URL thingy at the top of your screen.
I guess I can't add my word count since I'm just reading, but
yeah,
maybe I'll figure out some proxy.
Yeah, but basically, I think it's there, even if it's not an actual link. It's there, and I think in the playlist, and yeah, you can just join the Google sheet and everything for the community progress and everything.
Yeah,
totally. And actually, we were earlier talking about the George Foreman grill. Actually, Anna, I'm curious if you've got one. Have you got a George Foreman grill?
No, I do not.
By any chance? Oh,
I have a panini press, but I don't think it's George Foreman.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Yeah, we were having fun talking about the George Foreman grill and how, like, basically in the 90s, a lot of households had one.
It just makes me think of The Office right away.
Oh, did they write the George Foreman grill into The Office?
They wrote an episode where Michael burns his foot and he's making an enormous deal out of it, but it's because he stepped on a George Foreman grill and he had plugged in next to his bed cooking bacon.
Oh, well,
I remember that.
So when you said George Foreman grill, that's the first thing that's up here in this brain.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it was big, I'm sure, and Porscha could say so too.
Yeah, it was definitely a thing.
Yeah. It was pretty much a household appliance, and people who didn't even know who George Foreman were, were.
Maybe in 30 years, people are going to feel that way about us and our air fryers today. We're so obsessed with our air fryers.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, back in my day, look, cue me being older than I am. Back in my day, we all had George Foreman's. Now everybody has an air fryer, which I also have an air fryer.
Yeah. Gotta keep up.
It just doesn't beat the whole, because George Foreman had those infomercials where they actually did, and the cookbook came with it, and it was like, watch me make these burgers, and I just loved it. It was like, and I also know somebody who is in their very early 20s that did not know that George Foreman was a boxer. So upon me telling this person that, they were like, the grill guy used to box, and I'm like, well, that's what he's known for,
Yeah.
That's how he became the grill guy.
That's how he became the grill guy.
He was heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah.
Oh, I knew those were both people, but I didn't know that they were the same person.
Yeah. So essentially, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, and Muhammad Ali were kind of like the holy trinity of the sort of great heavyweights of their time. And yeah. Totally. Indeed. But I guess at this point we've gotten in our 3 sprints. We've gotten in our nice chit chat. We've gotten in a couple poems too, and gotten in lots of George Foreman grill banter and stuff. So maybe we could just about call it a stream at that. But yeah, my lovely guest hosts have indeed been Porscha and Anna, and I've got their links in the description. All their links in the description. And yeah, I guess we can call it a stream at that. Just let me. Not too quickly there, Porscha. Even though I just said what I said.
Bye.
Yeah, aren't I just a
Michael can't
a piece of
find
work,
the
huh?
button.
This is when Anne would be screaming, click the button.
Another
just a
relic of
second.
the 90s, the house phone.
Pretty much, that good old landline and all. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll call it a stream at that, I guess. I've got to the bottom of the chat. I don't know. What am I even doing? At
Oh
this
my
point? Yeah. Thanks, bundles and bunches. Bye bye.
Bye.
So where is the button there, huh, Porscha? Or the what?